Hi, this is Mary. Welcome to Creating Vintage. This is a journal I just finished. It is for a swap. So I made this for somebody else. And the challenge was to make something out of wallpaper. You had to make a journal. It had to be, I think, 8x5 to 9x6. So this is about, it's a little less, maybe 8.5 inches by 6. And so what do we have on the cover? First, I put some buttons on here to tie it with some twine. And I do have some crocodiles on there. These are lacrosse buttons. So a lot of people think they're alligators, but they are indeed crocodiles, which, you know, crocodilian, any way you look at it. But, oh, and it also had to be a nature theme. That's kind of important here. So that was the theme, but it had to be made out of wallpaper. And so I have this wallpaper, which is actually wallpaper I have in my house. So I actually used junk like I usually do. I don't know if it was the best in terms of motif. It was, you know, because it's a very large print, but I tried to really keep true to the color. And I was originally going to do mostly stuff about birds. I was thinking, oh, I'll kind of do like a Audubon style. He was a 1830s guy who did a bunch of, he went out and he actually killed a lot of the birds and stuff, and he painted pictures of them. And anyway, they're still in Audubon Society. So I had him as sort of an inspiration, and then I kind of took it from there. So here's my nature theme, and I did a dictionary page in the back. You know, we have my wallpaper back there, then that. And then I had this fabric that I actually had a whole bolt of this that I bought for like $5 sometime. It was leftover stuff at some store. And so I put that on here. I put Natural Splendor with some eyelets. And so there's the dictionary page. So I just kind of layered it, sewed this on, and then glued it. And I made sort of a little rosette out of packaging, and then put a square button topped with another button and just tied those. So we have one signature and 15 sheets. So you open it up, you can see some more of the wallpaper right in here. And we just have, you know, that's just a plain card. Here's another picture. And these are all journal cards. Just tucked right in here to this pocket. So the inside is the same as the cover. And then I wanted to make a little pocket. And had I thought about it first, I would have stitched around here. But you know, I always think of, here's how I would have done this if I would be doing it now. And it's always different. This was some lace that I got in a thrift store haul. And it was a very blue, which is very pretty, but I coffee stained it so that it would kind of fit the theme more. And I kind of tried to keep to blues and greens. This is just something, looks like it's out of a nature journal, and there's a bunch of writing space. I always try to make sure I keep writing space so people can actually journal in their journals. Some junk journal people don't like to journal, but I do. There's also some stitching along the edge there in kind of this blue color. I'm not sure this butterfly went with a theme, but somebody had sent these to me one time, and I thought they're kind of pretty, and it went with elegance in every flutter. Kind of went with this page here. And then I have another butterfly here. Here's a butterfly pocket, and inside, just a card. That's like looks like a little something. This is just a tag. And it was something my daughter had, some clothes, and I guess she had it on, and I found it in the car. And I stuck it in here. And then I had this little one that I made of, so it's like a little specimen thing. And these all fit neatly in my little pocket here with my butterfly, but I'll fix it up when I'm done. Wilderness Charms, got some fancy cut, opens up. I made this little bird thing, and here's some cards. Let's see, we got the Queen of Diamonds, the Nine of Clubs. I just thought these were very nature-y and they kind of fit in, but you can see the little kids playing cards. These are some vintage cards I found in a secondhand store. And then we got a big pocket, and this was something I've never done before. I haven't seen this either. I used hem facing that I showed a haul of me getting all this stuff, and a lot of it was ribbon, but this was it's like wide bias tape. So what I did was I put it, and there's actually junk mail under there, so I just did three, like a thing of 3 pockets, and I tucked these with all kinds of goodies. This I thought looked a little wallpaper like. It's just an index card that I ran through my embosser, a little tea bag topper, live a life steeped in experience. And that was some, steep is the flavor of the tea. It's ginger lemon, I love it. And then these were from paint chip samples. And they almost are a little too matchy-matchy here, but these were actually things I was thinking about. I wanted to match some tile in my very old bathroom. It's the 1961 house, so I was trying. Let's see, this is another tea. So these are both Bigelow teas. By Bigelow. This one's Benefits, and they have some nice things on there. So I drank the tea, kept the teas, and they fit in that front little pocket. And here's some more of these cards. Like I had one on the other page. Here's something, you got some nature things going on here, a little bug. And you can kind of see these pockets now better. So I stitched down the side, and they're just, you know, I just wrapped it around this one, top and bottom, but it doesn't go very far. I'll have to do a demo on that, but it made a really nice pocket, and I put a quote up there. And here's another bird, and they're stitching around it and then writing on the back. So that's what I stuffed all these pockets pretty full. And on this side, I have a belly band that's just a book page with some zigzag. And this is an old card. It's just a blank card with an owl on it. And I inked it up a little. I had these, my mother-in-law had a lot of cards, especially blank cards. And I think I put a sentiment on it. Where does it say, feathers of freedom, wings of joy? And that sounded pretty good for birds and the owl in there. And this is one of Audubon's paintings, and this is actually a quote by Audubon. A true conservationalist is a man who knows that the world is not given by his fathers, but borrowed from his children. And I made this tag, which has a pocket in the tag, and that's just another paint chip with yellow-breasted sunbird, and I put some stamps of birds on here, and it's just a dictionary page with a little pocket, and this could go either way. And then there's a bird stamp on the back. This is just packaging to stiffen it up a little bit, but I didn't want it too thick because this paper, it's an old paper for inventory, and it's not real stiff, so I didn't want anything too heavy. There's some of the seam binding I bought on my haul that I did. So I thought that kind of flowed together color-wise. Here we have this is from a very old book, and I just like the flowers so much, so I put that in this little pocket here. Nature's beauty is a healing balm for the soul. Some of these quotes I think can give you some inspiration, and you can write on here. You could even write on there. There's, as I said, I leave space to write. That's just blank. on the back. And this was, I just thought, pretty paper. And this was something else I bought. This is like stretch lace. They kind of fit nicely here. You don't have to put one thing in the top or bottom. You know, if somebody wanted to switch this up, like say you wanted to stick something in the top and something in the bottom. Anyway, you want to use those. And here we have a pocket. I did a little collage with a bird, and there's a bird up there that I kind of covered it up. And we have another journal card, and this is just from an old book, and it's kind of messed up, so it's taped together. And then some stenciling. Quote there about the whispers of wind carry the secrets of the trees. We got some more stenciling, and here's another page from a journal book, and there's some trees, journal book, and here is a page. These are actually leaves from my yard. So we have an oak leaf and some arborvitae, and I think that's for my burning bush. So I cleaned those. I actually scrubbed them with a toothbrush because I'm just that crazy. And then they're just between wax paper here. So this is a tag that I made out of an old atlas. There's a little pocket on the front. We have a ticket for a train. You could write on there if you wanted to. And another bird. And we can open this up, and there's writing space. I think I found this as a tutorial from Treasure Books. I just love her videos, and so you can have writing space, lots of writing space in there. Plus there's writing space under here, and I just did a little stamps in the corners to kind of go with these leaves here. And that's just paper clipped in with some more of the seam binding that I put on those. And this was some of the lace seam binding to make a belly band here. And this is just, you know, some pictures of birds and writing space on the back of those. So, this is why I don't like to do it on camera. I'm just not swift with my hands. My daughter's got me a doily punch, and so any 6-inch square can become a round doily with that punch, and they gave that to me for my birthday last year. And I've been making things with it, and I thought this one was pretty, so I printed this on a laser printer at my library, so I can print so many things there. This is packing paper. I thought the color was so pretty, and I've been saving it for a while. I don't even remember what came packed in this, but I thought color-wise it blended in with this. This, here's a pocket with a little dictionary definition of what a naturalist is. And this is the inside of a box. I think this was for Nexium, because I do take Nexium. So I cut that, ran it through the embosser, and then inked it, put some seam binding on the top. And then this is an envelope that I also inked up. So it's like a security envelope. And I thought that way you can't see what the box had on it, because you're not supposed to see what's in the envelope. And what surprised me was I put this on partially because afterwards I put it on, and part of the reason was I didn't want, you know, the embossing you can't really write on, but it's kind of funny, you can see it anyway because it's so embossed. But it's just a very simple little thing, old envelope. You know, this is my junk. And you can make it so pretty by putting a little seam binding on there that I got in the thrift store. And how many little toppers can I make for the 35 cents I paid for that? This is old school paper, And I wrote in there similar to how I used to write, although this is probably actually neater than Little Mary, but just wrote nature means, so somebody could write, you could erase that too, it is pencil. Got some more journal page, and this is the center. So there you go. We have hummingbirds, and it is tied here with a bow. And more of the journal page. Here we have a little flip out to write some things in. Just a little bit of nature stuff, a little bit of stenciling, and more of the packing paper. And I did put a little flower in there. Packing paper, the doily. Let's see. I always like to put something on my paper clips when I paper clip things in. The dance of the flowers is a celebration of life's vibrant colors, and a little flower stamp on there, because that's part of nature, right? We love to have our flowers. Another quote about leaves, and here we have our leaves. So just more for my yard. Journal page, and this is a belly band I just stitched on there with one of my fun little stitches on something, I don't know, that's probably used. And here's all things that are you know, naturalness, natural rights, natural selection, all kinds of nature things. There's nature. And a little bird, so I just collaged a little bit on that side, and that side has like a scene and some little notes on it. So got that there, tied with some very vintage lace. I just love that. It's aged. Oh, and then on this side, we've got butterflies, all kinds of butterflies, and just some more paper. Let's see, this pocket, it's kind of a little pocket, and because that paper was smaller, and I have more of this index card. Oddly enough, this index card is supposed to be green, but if you ask me, it looks very blue, and I just inked it so you could see that on there, and I think it looks like tiny wallpaper, but it's just, you know, a little blank card embossed. This is a piece of paper from an old watercolor book. They would have these, they had the color on them. You just took paint and painted, and this is actually from Pocahontas. There were cattails, and I kind of covered up the people. I think Nakoma was over there, but just put a piece of book page and a flower and a 67, and there you have an old watercolor book, and it looks pretty, and it's nature themed. I also got some stamps here, so they fit neatly into this pocket with stenciling on it. We've got rickrack on the edge, and so the reason was this paper was very short, so to make the full page on the other side, this side was short, so I added just a little piece of leftover paper and put some rickrack across the top. And on this side, oh, we have all kinds of stuff. I have another steep. And just, these are just journal cards. Oh, that's so pretty. It's very similar to the one on the front, but not exactly. Some more stamps. And I think I just dropped that, but there's some stenciling on here. This, I like this pocket. It's kind of like a library pocket, but with a book page and a bird and a button, Nature's Symphony, where the birds compose melodies in the quietude. And it's just a very plain, large tag there that fits right in. Some stenciling of butterflies. This is from a very old book of butterflies. This was more coffee dyed lace. And these, let's see, They're kind of interesting butterflies. You can see they're plate XXI. So it's like a 19th century book and fits right into this little piece of lace. I got some stenciling. That was actually an accident. I had some pink left on my thing that I was stenciling with. What do you call my little sponge? This is just folded over on the manila paper to make a little pocket with some leaves. And inside, this is kind of stuffed with a little journal card. Oh, there's a bird on the back, and there's just some stitching holding him on. Oh, and that's on the back of, I had a book, Little Big Man. It's an excellent book, a great movie starring Dustin Hoffman, but it was literally falling apart. So a lot of the pages in here are actually from Little Big Man, but you can see some of the Kansas and specific, and talks about Olga and Gus. So if you didn't know any better, you wouldn't be able to pick out Little Big Man. But here's some Joss money, so that's not going to get you anywhere, but it looks kind of pretty in here. Here's some embossed paper, but it's not, the embossing didn't come out very much, but just some paper that has a little bit of embossing. Here's a piece of the wallpaper, just so you can feel what the wallpaper's like. Or if you want to cut any of these up, whoever gets it, they can slice that up and use it as they wish. Sunset Hues, paint the sky with a palette of serenity. Butterflies. Butterflies. And here's another little pocket out of packaging, book page, and a zigzag. I think that's probably an envelope and a little bird. Oh, there's some wax paper under there. And there's another piece of the index card. And a paint chip. These are ones I am not using for my bathroom, but these were ones I was thinking about. So there's a little birdie on there. But you can see what you can do. So we brought this home, decided they were the wrong shades, and then I took the back of something that I wasn't going to use anyway, glued them together so that you could write on there. So you can make use of all your little stuff. That's why it's a junk journal. I think that's the last page. I left this one blank. I thought the stitching was really pretty around there. I usually end with a library card. And one of the things I did was I had been ironing on here, and I ironed too hot and it melted a little. And so I had to cover it and make a bigger pocket. So that's why this is kind of a big card, but I thought it still looks pretty. I really like this paper. Thought it kind of blended. And this is, this was a card that I got that I probably would have thrown out. And a laundry sheet and a butterfly, and then I put some rhinestones where he had like little blue in there, and put a little pearl by the quote, "In the embrace of nature, I find tranquility." And on the back, I put Wallpaper Nature. That's the title. I signed my name and then stamped the date, February 28, and that fits right in there. And there's an eyelet for my closure. And that is my journal. I am really hoping whoever gets this enjoys it as much as I enjoyed making it. Thank you for coming, and anytime, stop by, click the subscribe button and the like button, and I'll see you next time.